Joining us today is our very own Priyanka Upendra, who we know has been balancing glamour and versatility. She is joined by young filmmaker Karen Shetty Suvarna as we talk about September 21st and the story behind Alzheimer themed film.
I love the subject. As I was talking to you yesterday, I told you that also when she narrated the subject to me, she never referred to a single piece of paper. It was all in her heart and mind, and that was the first green flag for me. I was like, well, this girl knows what she's talking about because she's very young. It is Alzheimer's Day, World Alzheimer's Day on September 21st. I think that was one idea. And also, it's very relevant to the film because it is about an Alzheimer's patient and caregivers as well. When I heard the script and I told myself that if you agree to play this character, you're going to have to forget about everything that you've done so far.
Okay, narrating to Priyanka ma'am was something different. Now you have to actually, get her into that character and direct her. That was a big deal for me.
He's still sticking to that. So let's see. People have to understand. That will take some time, but that's what he feels. That's his way of saying this is how we're going to bring about a change. And why should there be campaigns with so much money? Because then again, you're going to have to return that money. Where are you going to get that money from to return the campaign funds? So he's like, where there's less money, there's always less, responsibility to give it back. So it should be honest from the beginning.
A lot of inputs to that character of Kamala. I think at one point I was very comfortable saying that, even if Priyanka ma'am is giving any inputs, she's already in that character.
Hello, Karen. How are you? Hi, Priyanka.
Hi.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. So do you, as usual.
For the first time, I'm watching the film and talking to you. So there's more excitement.
Right.
Having said that, September 21st as a title, did the title shape the story or the story led to the title? Because we remember only a few days, festivals or some important days, birthdays. September 21st as a title, it doesn't strike somebody, it's an Alzheimer's Day. So it's very important for somebody to understand that. So I just wanted to start with that.
So I think when we decided on the title of September 21,
Yeah.
it was always the story that led to the title, and it was never the title led to the story because it actually means so much to the subject, to what the film is about. That's why we selected the title September 21.
Okay. How strong a title like September 21st holds to the story since you were part of it? You're the face of the movie.
Right. I think at the end of the film, people come to know because many people, when we did the title launch, many people didn't understand why it was called
Yes,
September 21st or what was, they didn't understand it. So I think just to actually, it can also bring awareness that it is Alzheimer's Day, World Alzheimer's Day on September 21st. I think that was one idea. And also, it's very relevant to the film because it is about an Alzheimer's patient and caregivers as well. So I think it was a very apt title. It was intriguing. And also, when you have a title which is generic, then people don't really remember it. In this way, I feel that people will also, it'll create awareness about World Alzheimer's Day and also about the film. So that was nice.
Okay. Before getting to talk about the story and the experience behind it, every filmmaker, every actor, every director want to be there. They dream about it, and very few get a moment there. Just in brief, if you want to share your Khan's experience with us.
You want to go first? She went before me, so 2 days before. Yeah.
For me, honestly, I never, it was always a dream, but not in my wildest dream did I think that I would be attending Cannes, and that too with my very first feature film. I never thought that. And it was such an overwhelming experience, great opportunity. I came to know a lot about films. It was such a, I think I learned more on the trip to Cannes, and just to have Priyanka ma'am with me over there, it was all like a cherry added on the cake.
Usually, like to us, to who watch from here, like we all think it's just the glam, but there's more to it.
Yeah.
A film festival, which everyone talks about and everyone has memory after they come out of it. There are a lot of
Yes.
memories. And Priyanka, I'm sure you have a lot to say about this experience when you went there the first time.
Yeah, definitely. It's generally in life when we sort of imagine something and then when we are truly there, it's always a different experience. Sometimes completely different from what you had imagined in your mind it would be like. Of course, some of the things were like there, like it was so beautiful. The French Riviera, it's just like a dream. When I was landing into Nice to go to Cannes, it was so beautiful. The place was just as I had imagined. But I would say the kind of films that are showcased there, that was what blew my mind because I had the opportunity to watch one film apart from our film, and the format was completely different. The way the audiences were paying attention to films was completely different. And it was just this buzz of creativity. And, at one side you have all these actors who are so beautiful. Then you have actors from all over the world showcasing their films. And then you have, the genres where they're new film students, so those are very unique genres. And you had, which was very new this time, was some of the YouTubers had made films which actually have been done really well. So their perspective, because they're so connected to the audience, right, because they're seeing the comments every day. So I felt like that was nice. And there were some of the OG films which were, that were the classic films which were, showcased again.
Okay.
So it was just this amalgamation of so much creativity, beauty. I would put glamour at the end of it because that was also there. Because, it's always nice to see people in their beautiful outfits and all that. But apart from that, for me, it was personally a very rich, creative experience, I would say. And something I think has inspired me again to maybe do something new because, at some point in our careers and our lives, we feel like I've done so much. Is there anything else new that I can do now? And when I went to Cannes, I saw people from all age groups, and they were all just so enthusiastic about films. So I think that there's no full stop. You just keep learning. So yeah, it was like this potpourri of creativity.
Fresh ideas.
Yeah, fresh ideas and new inspiration.
For somebody like you, whom we have seen as glamour, and there is sometimes there's performance heavy also from Priyanka's end.
Yeah.
There is scope for performance, and you have delivered it. A role is a role for you,
Yeah.
and there is a risk in every role.
Yeah.
But September 21st has a different kind of a risk. You had to de-glamorize yourself, something you hadn't done, something people didn't think of. I always thought what Karen thought of. I asked you also,
Yeah.
why did previous filmmakers didn't think Priyanka like the way Karen thought about you? And were you okay to take that risk?
Well, honestly, I love the subject. As I was talking to you yesterday, I told you that also. When she narrated the subject to me, she never referred to a single piece of paper. It was all in her heart and mind, and that was the first green flag for me. I was like, this girl knows what she's talking about because she's very young, and the story really struck a chord with me. I felt like this story should be told, and when she approached with this character, yeah, even I was a little, I was a little shocked also, and I was happy also that someone could think of me just as an artist. Apart from the physicality, they thought that no, we can work with her on this. So it was a challenging. I took it like a challenge, and of course she was there, and I had a conversation with her about this. After that, why me? And then I think she'll be better to tell you why she thought of me.
So for me, I think having Priyanka Upendra, like for me, she was the Priyanka Upendra. To have her on board was only a big deal. When I, even narrated to her, there was a little bit of nervousness too. But then I thought that this is my chance. This is like that do and die situation for me. I should give my best, and you never know. So I think it was that, and I had always seen her. She carries a lot of grace, like a silent grace, to be very honest. And I think when I was, thinking about this character, when we were just setting up the characterization of this character, Kamla, I don't know why. The only face that came in front of me was, having Priyanka ma'am for that character. And obviously that part came that, she has done glamorous roles. Will she agree? Because it's kind of really different, a different perspective. But I can assuredly, I can tell you, assertively, that she has when you see this film, you won't see Priyanka Upendra in it. You will
Yes.
actually see Kamala in it.
The beautiful Kamala.
Beautiful Kamala.
The nose spin. That is what, the first attraction to me in that.
Thank you.
It looked so beautiful.
Thank you.
It was really nice. But coming from a 22-year-old Karen, why did you think of a story that, even people double your age will not understand something about Alzheimer's? I felt, why did you think of, I know it's maturity, but I just wanted to ask you why this story to begin with, the debut direction.
I want to direct a film of my own, and I was just like going through stories, or I was actually thinking what could be the genre of my story. There was always that thinking that I do not want to do a normal film that everyone else has made, and I want to give a message. I want a film to be made that resonates with people, that people actually think, oh, this is my story being told. And when I met the writer of the film, that is Raj Shekhar, when he told me his own story, this is actually a very personal story to him. So I felt this is a great script. This
Okay.
is something that we can convert into a film, and I wanted that kind of the emotional attachment that I've tried getting to this film, and just the fact that it many films have been made on the subject of Alzheimer's. They're cult classic films, but just the fact that no film actually deeply thought about the side of the caregivers. So, and this was all about caregivers.
Yes.
This September 21 is basically the story of Alzheimer's through the lens of the caregivers. I think that's what I wanted to tell, and I hope I have told that I have been successful in telling that story.
Of course, I always feel when she tried to narrate a story to anyone, first they will think of her age, or did they go by the script like what she
No, actually, she's very bright, honestly. I think we're all young. And when I started my first film, I was very young also. I was around 17, I think. And I was
Okay.
17, 18. And the first lead, when I got, I was 18, without any experience, actually. She's studied film, and she's like, she's a film student. So I feel like, and then she had done a short film before this. So there's always point A for someone, right? And it doesn't mean that it has to be, substandard. It can always be your best work also, because even Upi started really young. So I always in my heart believe that there's a lot of potential in young people. And today they have so much knowledge because of the extra information that they have available online.
Now you
and-
have young talents at home.
yeah, I have young those ones at home. Yes, and also I think for me, I always go with a gut feeling also. When I met her and when the way she narrated and I saw her previous work, I knew that she would be able to, with a good team, she would be able to do this. Because then she told me about the cast, the star cast, and then I was like, no, I think this she's gonna be able to do this.
It was not that, it was atypical for you. It is okay. Playing Kamala,
Yeah.
the very first thought, what was in your mind, like to be Kamala?
I just wanted to play her with a lot of honesty.
Okay.
When I heard the script and I told myself that if you agree to play this character, you're gonna have to forget about everything that you've done so far, and you're gonna have to, when you enter the set, you're gonna have to be Kamala, and you're gonna have to forget about your touch-ups and looking at yourself and thinking about, am I looking this way or that way? Because that is the way, the format in which we usually shoot films. When we are doing songs, we have to look perfect, and you know how the commercial mainstream format of shooting. I told myself that that consciousness shouldn't be there. You should be honest to the character.
Yeah.
And I try to imbibe the caretakers that have been there for me and what I've seen around me, and how our mothers and grandmothers, generally caregiving is a little bit of, it is there in our everyday lives for everything. I would say that unless you're completely alone somewhere, uh, like people around you, even your friends, family, when you're in a gathering, caring is something which is a very innate human thing which we all should have, and we do have. This is just another extremely unconditional caregiving, where the other person might be someone you're working for, or might not even remember you tomorrow. So you're not getting that energy back. In fact, you might even get negative energy back.
Yes.
So that takes a lot of strength. So that resilience should have been in her, that strength. So I tried to have that.
Did you change anything, like what you had originally in script when you had Priyanka ma'am on board, did you think of any changes made?
I think that also depends on the actor. And to be very honest, she was so understanding that, the way I wanted my Kamla to be, in fact, she has gone out of the way and, even, gone 2 shades darker for the role. So I have to, like, I think I've troubled her a
No,
lot.
no, no, it was nice.
But I think there was nothing to be changed. She completely gave in, saying that, I will do what you want. And she also actually gave a lot of inputs to that character of Kamla. I think at one point I was very comfortable saying that, even if Priyanka ma'am is giving any inputs, she's already in that character because she was so, focused. At times it was like, okay, she knows Kamla better. So, she was giving those inputs. She was so into the character. Even on set, I think ma'am was so comfortable. Nothing of that sort came in. Where she always, being my age, she never questioned the decision or anything. She was always, as you say, the director's actor. I think that was
Yeah.
No, but
absolutely.
the way you approached Kamala, especially the pain,
Yeah.
no, it was played very silently. It not performative. Though no one thinks like it is like you are acting there. You just live that character.
No, thank you.
Did you? How did you think about it? Like, did you? You see around.
Yeah.
That makes it important for any actor to just imbibe that role into the
Yeah,
role.
definitely. And also just thinking of her circumstances being a woman. There have been many people who've worked in my house who've told me stories about, how their husbands are not there, the kind of society and circumstances they live in. And I think I could resonate with a lot of it. So try to imbibe what a woman might feel if she is going through these kind of things in her personal life and she has to care for someone. And that is not only because of as a professional or as a salaried job, as someone she truly cares about because she's been in their house as a form of duty. I would say, like, like she thinks it's her duty to look after him. I don't think she approached it as a job. It was like something she's doing from her heart. And she considers herself as a part of the family, but there are boundaries because after all, she is a worker. So there's not, she can, so then I thought there's not much she can say. She can only feel through her face. So what she would be thinking, I would try to express that in my face without saying much because a worker wouldn't be able to talk that much. She would just feel. And yeah.
But generally, with your experience, and this is her first film, a film on Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Do you think it's emotionally heavy or niche? How do you put it across?
I think, it was such a sensitive topic, firstly. We couldn't really take the creative liberties that we could take because it was a medical condition that we were dealing with. And we wanted to show it in a way where nothing was overdone. It doesn't, the actors acting or the way the film was treated shouldn't look like, oh, these, it's a fake, like fake scenario or something like that. So I think when we came to that level of making and the way they have acted also, I think it was a very niche type of acting that we wanted it to be more realistic rather than appealing to the audience, the general audience. We obviously wanted to do that, but with the realistic term in it. So that's why I think it is a niche subject. And
Where does September 21st sit in your journey?
I think like simple storytelling is very powerful because real life is like that. Like the three of us are sitting here and talking today. There's not much happening. It's just that we are connecting. So when you're really honest and you're telling a story which has to do with what this person is going through, I think the way you should tell that story is this way. It should be simply told because this is happening in his house. He is not going XYZ places, neither is he fighting with someone in a big setting, or neither is suddenly his life going to change. And life is like that. Like his life is like this. So we had to honestly portray it in the way it was. Some moments are very silent, some moments he is talking to himself. So, changing his location or making it larger than life wouldn't make sense for this film. So I felt like this simple storytelling was very powerful a tool for this film. It was very apt. So in that sense, I had to be more careful because we had longer shots and I think the body language. So, then your nuances and your acting takes over. So, the people, what they're feeling, their relationships are, in focus. So that as an actor, I was on, like I had to be, this was a new school of thought for me. And of course, Praveenji, I have to tell you about him. I mean, he's wonderful. From day one, like he knew all his lines, my lines. You know, he would tell me that, "Aap ye bologi na abhi." I was like, "Haan." Then he used to say, "Have you thought of how you're going to say this?" You know, I was like, or he's like, "What are you going to do here?" You know, so he's like this film school, okay. So you know his timings. So I had to really adjust to him. So it was almost like, thank God we shot in one flow, because it was almost like we were actually living there. Every day in the morning, I would actually go and work in the kitchen. So it was like that. Very organic.
I'm curious to know what is the best scene as a director and an actor, Priyanka. What is the best scene that you would take back, or a memory after the shot? The best you thought, like, oh, it stayed with you.
I think I
You
want
want
to
to
know
yeah,
that.
you want to
it
know
from
that. I think there are many moments in the film, but definitely the kitchen scene where I had to cry and
I love
kind of
that scene.
thank
That's
you.
why I wanted to come.
Yeah.
I wanted you to say, how did you bring out that?
And
that
also it's
emotion?
that you have to dig deep a little bit. It's not comfortable, but always you have to little bit dig deep, and there's always some sadness in us that's stored there is somewhere where it comes up. Like for me, I am a very emotional person, so I didn't have to go too deep, but I have my tears on the surface. Like if someone asks, you know, if I feel something, I'll probably just cry. But to again stop, again go back and talk about something, I think that's what we always do. You know, we don't immediately blurt out things. It's always a process. Even sadness, it immediately doesn't happen. It
Yesterday
comes
when
in
I
waves.
yesterday
Yeah.
when I was talking to you, there was emotions. I just wanted
Yes.
to share it with you.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's so connected with me.
Yes.
That's why I was like, I was
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
I wanted to just tell it out to you.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
how it is.
So sometimes that you know, some small trigger, and then you think, and then you want to
Yes,
say.
yes.
So that was that process of that scene. So it was very interesting, and also she can't completely be herself also,
Yes.
again, because there's a boundary there. He is not her husband or her father or anyone. He is, you know, someone she works for. So that, keeping that in mind, everything, because she has to get back to work there, you know. So this is become a part of her life, I feel. Here and where she's triggered, I think it comes out.
In what way you can closely relate to such characters? Like,
I think as a human being, we all can relate, because we all have had the things that have happened in our lives that still trigger us today. Something where to be similar, if you feel something similar, that emotion will come. May it could be a song, it could be something happening to someone else, it could be, you know, someone losing someone, some breakup, anything, you know, or a birthday. You know, it can trigger a memory, it can trigger an emotion. So being a human being, I think any human beings will have those qualities, and I think that for me, I just had to sort of think how she would feel. That was about it. That empathize with the character. Yeah.
Karen, you did not tell which was the best scene. You have to.
Actually, I have like many scenes, like because as a director, I will feel okay. this
Yeah,
scene, that
yeah.
scene. But there are two scenes that I want to mention. One is obviously Priyanka ma'am, you know, the breakdown that happens in the kitchen. To be frank, to talk about that scene, I forgot to say cut. To be very honest,
Yeah.
because I think I have made her cry for a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Because I genuinely forgot to say cut, because I think she did it with like utmost honesty. I didn't feel that she was crying for the character or because that is the scene. She actually got into that zone when that started. Like, I don't have words to explain what she went through or what she, brought to the set that day. So to be frank, that was one scene. And there's one more scene since you've watched the film. Uh, there's this vacuum cleaner scene where she is vacuuming the house and Praveen sir is he gets a little
Disturbed. The
disturbed
noise with the
and
noise.
because
That
of
noise,
the
Noise,
that
yeah.
we-
Yeah.
Seen this, yeah.
I think in that scene, because the dialogues in that scene are also quite different. I think that is the place where first time in the film also people understand, okay, what is this Alzheimer's all about? That scene I think opens up for the audience about that fact. I think in that scene the way she as a caregiver dealt with it, that she herself is confused, but she can't get that confusion on her face, because then the person sitting opposite to her will get confused,
Yeah.
saying that, oh my god, did I speak something wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to have that balance, I think she bought it beautifully.
No,
and
that
even
the limitation
Yeah.
with that character.
Yeah.
There are you just can't talk much also.
Yeah.
I could see that, and I like the part when with all her difficulty, the Kamala, she understands the son's what the son is going through, and that scene, she comes back, okay, I will
Yeah.
work. And the other one is the father only, the
Yeah.
conversation between the father and the son.
Yeah.
My son is in America.
Yeah.
He keeps doing it. Is such a nice feeling,
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
And like, and the way he takes care, he does a video call from the room.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Such a
Because he can't relate to
intricate,
him in
yeah,
real life anymore.
so many related things,
Yeah.
and especially Kamala's house front, what she goes through, that is very much a middle class
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, we shot that in the real location. It was a
We
live.
shot it in actual slum area.
Yeah.
So I think
It was actually, we didn't even have enough space to get the camera inside to have a frame because it was such a small place. So we worked like that there. Yeah.
but we wanted it to be in a real location, I think, also because
Yeah.
it get the feel of it, and we wanted it to be realistic in general.
Yeah.
But when you said do or die, what is the pressure for a debutant to say it should be a do or die? Because people say that if they have failures or after a certain point they want to do better. But this is right in your first film, you think this way. Why is that?
I think this was a film where I can prove myself. I always approached it in that way because I obviously think I can do better. I want to do better. I want to learn from my mistakes and everything. But I think I want to treat every film that certain way that it is a do and die for me. Because I think if I have that approach, if I can deliver and I can make, I want to relate. I do not want to just make a normal film which only I would be probably applauding one day. Oh, what a film I
Yeah.
have made. I don't want it to be like that. I think for me, it was to give a promising product out so that people can trust on me, and me, it's okay, I can feel, oh, I have made a good film. That's not the matter. I want people to tell that. My target is the audience, the target is the critics.
For you, it's just the beginning, but for an actor, the box office pressure also will be there. For you, it
I've
matters.
never really been like that, Sharda. You know me, right? All my movies so far, even the commercial ones, I've always attempted to do different roles, even if there's a gap. Like, if you see the films that I've done, like there was Mummy, where I was, like a mom pregnant as Januar. Then there was Devaki. Then Ugravatar, I'm a cop. And then in Kamaru 2, I play a paranormal investigator. So I try to look different in every film at least and play different roles. I don't think I've repeated myself much.
Okay.
So it's kind of difficult to find scripts like that also, because there are a lot of roles that will come in being, the elder hero's wife, or, like generic roles for my age. But I always try to look at scripts that excite me. Box office success, I don't know. Actually, that I don't understand. As an actor, I want to do roles and I want to be versatile and I want to play. And it excites me also to look differently. With God's grace, I think I have a face with makeup and costumes. I can change the way I look very easily. My skin absorbs any kind of makeup really fast. I can color my hair. I can wear lenses. So I can look very different in each film. And I have a knack to pick up languages. So I use those things as, like skills for my acting. So, to learn more, or maybe it's very exciting for me to look different in each film. So I don't really think of all that. And if a movie gets critical acclaim and love from the audience, if it inspires someone, even if it comes on TV or YouTube later and people get back to me after 2 years saying, ma'am, this movie was really good, I'm still happy.
That was there from the beginning.
That was there from the beginning. Otherwise, I think I would have worked for another 10 years and not been married so early. If I had that thought process of, okay, this is my market, this is my career. I never planned like that. I'm a very spontaneous person and I think with my heart, and I always go with my gut feeling. So, nothing is planned in my life ever.
For somebody with 50 films put together,
Yeah.
when people say today, when filmmakers term as content is king, how do you explain this
Most
content?
definitely. Yeah. For me, content is really important. I always, whenever I hear a script, I always listen to the whole story. Do I like the story? Forget about my character. Then I think, will I be able, then I try to imagine myself in that character and again re-see the story. Like, does it make sense for me to play this? Will I make this film, work? Or will my character work in this film? Is it an impactful character? So these are the things that I think for sure. Content is everything. I mean, there are so many like films that people have spent crores and crores on that haven't resonated or made you feel anything. So, you know, it's always the content. It's always the content. You cannot make a film which is very rich in everything and it doesn't have emotion or feeling and be moved by it a little bit also. And you can make a small film which can really move you and make you think also. So, it's all the story and how you're taking that story forward.
So something like film at big festivals, is it a validation or a challenge? Like,
It's both actually, to be honest. Because when I approach ma'am or any other actor, I think I it was always with the perspective that I want to take this film to the festival circuit also, because since I started with the festival circuit with my short film, and this was sort of a bridge cinema.
Yeah.
We did not concentrate only on, because we had the casting, we treated the film also somewhere in the bridge category, where we did not give a complete festival type of a making. We sort of cut to the middle of it. And I think it was both. It was a challenge that, just to make a film, you can make a film for the festival thinking that this is where I want to target and everything, but it has to also get selected.
okay.
So I think that is the challenge part. And once you get selected, I think the validation is obviously important, but I think it gives you an inner peace saying that, okay, I have at least made the film reach to this extent.
Now, was there a purpose that you wanted to do it in Kannada and Hindi?
I think Kannada is where I come from. My roots are from here, and Hindi was like is the official language of India, and I think it resonates a lot with when you're looking at international film markets. This is what I understood with my previous short film. So I think Hindi was the purpose, because we wanted it to, we wanted to travel the world.
Larger
around with-
audience.
Yes, the
Yeah.
larger audience. Everyone sort of understands Hindi, because it's kind of like you can select Hindi in all over India and everything. So I think it was because of that. And Kannada is something which
Yeah.
is very close to my heart
Yeah.
and her heart
Yeah.
also.
But for you, this was your debut, or you had played a role, and after a long time you were in part of Hindi. This one, like
In Hindi, no, I've been doing
Been
Hindi
there.
films off and on. Many of my films have been dubbed in Hindi as well.
okay.
I did a film called Enemy. I think that was one. And then what was the last one I did? I think that was the last one I did in Hindi, probably. Yeah, this is after that. I've done Hindi films before. I've worked in Hindi before. Yeah, Hindi, Bengali.
As a young filmmaker, you had so many seniors on the set. Did you had to fight it harder to be heard on the set?
To be honest, I thought I would,
No.
but no. To be very honest, I have been very lucky with the star cast of the film. With people, I've had the star cast with. I think for my first film, I had my dream star cast, because there was, ma'am being, she is traveled, I think, all the industries almost. And then, with other Praveen sir, Amit sir, Ajit sir, they come with a lot of experience. And with that kind of experience, I think it brought me under pressure. What if, when I speak anything, probably they might get offended or anything. But I think when I came on set and when I actually, the way they treated me, it was nowhere in any sense I felt that, that would be a problem.
She said she never treated you as a kid.
Yes.
She treated you as a director. That is the best compliment anybody can give
And that
you.
made things a lot easier.
Yeah.
See, I obviously came in that mindset because it was my first film. I am obviously a little bit of nervousness will be there, but I think they welcomed me with like warm hugs and warm hands. So it was all comfortable actually.
But in particular, directing Priyanka Upendra, was it intimidating, or you had clarity from day one? That was
I think
important.
I had clarity about the character. When Priyanka ma'am said yes, it took me a second to even understand, okay, she's saying yes. It was same in her house when she told yes. And, I have not given any reaction for like good a few seconds, I think. And I was like, that's when it actually occurred to me, okay, narrating to Priyanka ma'am was something different. Now you have to actually, get her into that character and, direct her. That was a big deal for me. But I think it all worked out accurately, and like it just, I think I just enjoyed the experience. I don't have enough words to thank her.
No,
basically.
absolutely. No, let me say this, but you should have seen her on the set. she was like a proper director on the set. At no moment would you think that she was exact to exact, like this is how much I want, this is the scene, so much clarity. She was on the monitor, she had a good team with her, and she was very clear. And forget about me, even Praveen sir is like such a brilliant actor. I mean, he's, and so I mean, I would be nervous if I was directing him, but she was so clear, and she would say, "Sir, no, actually, you know, she actually came up to us and told us sometimes that, you know, this is exactly what I want, and this." So she was very confident. There was no nervousness. That not that I noticed.
No.
If it was inside, I don't know, but she was very clear. We shot whatever she told us that we are going to shoot. We shot exactly that way. It was completely like as she had told us. There were no changes in that. There was a bound script and all that was given to us. So it was done very well. Otherwise, I guess the output wouldn't happen, you know, because sometimes you don't get that in every film. You know, you don't get a bound script. You don't get such a pakka author back character. Every single nuance of the character, if it's done for, it becomes easier as an actor because you have this nice graph that, you know, this is my graph in the film. So, you know, that was very helpful.
What do you expect the audience, like, you know, will you feel like, you know, they should, will you feel hurt if they don't understand the story or if they don't watch a film like this?
I think people have to watch a film like this to understand, because I think the subject of the film, Alzheimer's, not many people actually understand what Alzheimer's is till date. They just think when a person grows old, it's probably just bhulne laga hai kar.
Like, yeah, memory loss.
Memory loss. It's nothing that serious, but it's so much more
Yes.
to. There's so much more to it, and how difficult it gets. And I obviously think like till now, whoever have watched it, they have connected to the film. And I think with me, when I even started making this film, I was very clear that my success would be if by the end of it, I can at least make a few people cry. Like, at least they get attached to Kamala and Raj that much that they actually understand what these people are going through. So I
Yeah.
think that's what I wanted to say. So that's
Yeah.
You know better today kind of films coming and what people like to watch, and somebody, you know, we are pushing audience, please come,
Yeah.
this is a nice film, there's a strong message in this.
Yeah.
How do you tell the audience this is a movie to watch?
Honestly, because it's such a great platform, and just to pass on the message about care, because like we say in the film, if you can't cure but you can care, I think a lot can be won over by love. That is the biggest thing I think for us in on earth. I think that is the gravitational pull of earth is, I think, this love that everyone has, it pulls us together and makes us stay on earth, is what I feel. So I feel like, again, with elderly parents or, you know, in-laws or whoever might be growing older, you know, and when you think that this is what is happening to them, how do you deal with it? Are you able to deal with them with the same way you connected with them before when they knew who you were, like when they were your mother or father? Or are you going to treat them like a patient, or are you going to not acknowledge the fact that something is happening, or are you going to love them unconditionally, even though, you know, that actually does help, I feel. I think love makes a big difference. So through this film, I hope that we can spread messages about love and kindness, that, you know, you should be kind, you should be loving, you should be caring, because I think the world is growing to a space where people are becoming overtly about projection, overtly about many other things, you know, success, achieving things in middle life, and then, okay, now I have to maintain this success, and this is my life. Actually, human relationships are important, and even for those, you know, children who are far away, who are working, you know, anivaryagi, like they have to work
Yes.
outside to support their parents. In fact, I met a couple like that when I was coming back from Cannes. Their son is in Germany, and they were so happy that they could spend that 3 months. I think that's going to last. They visited him twice in 10 years,
Oh.
but they're like, these 3 months are going to be, you know, we're going to remember the memories for the next 5-6 years. So that's all it takes sometimes, even with your children. So let's give that quality time and love. So I hope with this movie we can spread that message. We have all kinds of movies with entertainment, whatever, whatnot, violence, jo bhi hai that people are enjoying watching. But we need to also talk about relationships. And another good aspect in this film is we've shed light on some of the clinical things that happens with Alzheimer's, but many people don't realize
Yes.
that, because sometimes it gets so severe, and I think people think that it's an onset of old age. But what is old age? There are many people at 82, 83 who are working properly in a, you know, an office. it doesn't happen to everyone. So, we should also understand that they need
The
help.
fact that she's taken around the COVID time,
Yes, yes.
Sudha is still there.
Yeah, yeah.
Her
yeah.
presence.
Yes, yes. Sudha's presence.
This film looks simple from outside, sentimental, but with a very strong message, and especially a tribute to caregivers.
Yes.
That's what I see.
Thank you.
How
yeah.
do you want to put it across? Like,
It was that. It
Yeah.
was definitely that.
Yeah.
I think what we wanted to show towards the end of the film also, we have very vividly told that struggles of the caregivers are sometimes greater than that of the patients. So
Yeah.
That's the message that we wanted to give.
and coming through Priyanka as Kamala has added value. I'm sure.
Definitely.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
So I'm sure like you would have got the first feedback. Everyone will definitely ask you, the- do I call, the maverick director, the actor, or Priyanka's husband Upendra who
Yeah.
watched the movie? What did the family? Did the family watch it and did they have anything to say?
They're all watching this weekend actually. The Hindi version has released last
Okay.
week. But whatever I've shown him, and he's really happy because he always encourages me to do more realistic work because he also thinks that there's much to do as an actor. He always tells me that there's a side of you that many people haven't seen. He has seen some of my earlier work in Bengali, but once I came to the south, I mean, my earlier works were more about working with bigger heroes. How it is, when you're young, you want to be visible, you want to do big movies and all that. And I learned on the job. But I think now. As with all my life experiences, and I think that there's more that I have to give. So he always tells me do realistic roles and like do things that have more substance. So he was really happy about this, and he is like good. And especially with Khan, he was really happy, and he was like, I was telling you, I'm so refreshed and inspired after Khan, and he was like, good, that's how it is. When you think there's nothing else, then there's something new happens, and you're like, okay, now what?
Encouraging especially newcomers like Karen, and she'll definitely think what next. She'll
Yeah,
also
she
have
should.
bigger
She's brilliant.
ideas.
She's going to do a lot of good work, I'm sure.
And
Yeah.
I want to know what next from Priyanka after this. Like,
I have a couple of movies that are ready for release also, and I'm working on Ayush's film now, so I've taken some time off for that. And let's see. After that, I'll look at some new scripts, maybe
I'm sure that politics is also a lot of discussion,
at
especially
home. Yeah. You know how it is. Not a lot. It's the only discussion. Films
what is
and
that side of the
politics.
story? I just want to know in brief. Like,
He's still continuing with his thoughts and ideologies, what he believes in. So he's still sticking to that. So let's see. People have to understand that will take some time, but that's what he feels. That's his way of saying this is how we're going to bring about a change. So and it comes in waves. I feel people get used to a system, then many people want a change, then they vote for someone new. So maybe we'll see.
why this question comes is like, Vijay becoming a
Yes,
CM.
yes.
It suddenly, all the hype around
Yeah,
actors,
yeah.
who have a lot of, they want to take that, they want to connect with people through politics. Like,
Yeah.
So I thought like, sure, Upendra is like now inspired or he wants
He's
to get
always
back.
been. I think when he did Prajakya, I mean, it's almost been many years. I would think 8 years. I don't know exactly, but his idea was always to connect with people in a different way, and I think he's been very clear about his ideas in Prajakya. So I think now, with Vijay Aur winning, I think that people have this newfound interest in why doesn't he come in, because we know we need younger leaders and stuff. That's a different aspect. But this has been in his mind, and he has been talking about this for many years now. So I think it's just re-emerged again. So he's, again talking to many people about it, and he wants younger people to come in because he's like, they're the ones who are going to take like Karen, and we need new blood always in the film industry, in politics, because energy. His thing is that why should we be afraid of politicians? We shouldn't. There's a person who's working for you. He is working on your money, the tax money, the hard-earned tax money that we are paying. So why are you afraid to approach him? Why is there a hierarchy there? It should be like how we are sitting and talking. You should say, sir, I need this done. That person should say, yes, I will be here at this time. We're going to get this done. It shouldn't be like so difficult to approach them. It shouldn't be this, there's this stigma associating, with people in power. That shouldn't be there. That is his thing. So it should be just like a regular way how people work, because they are running the country. We are running our homes. They should do their job. We should do our job. That's how it should be. So, And why should there be campaigns with so much money? Because then again, you're going to have to return that money. Where are you going to get that money from to return the campaign funds? So he's like, where there's less money, there's always less, responsibility to give it back. So it should be honest from the beginning.
You've understood so much about Prajakya.
Yeah, I had
everything
to. I've
starts
been hearing
from
about it
home.
for a long time now. I would be really dumb if I didn't understand it.
Everything starts from home, they say.
Yeah.
And you have understood better, I'm sure. A lot more. And you've always been support anything being done.
Yeah.
Films or anything like that. And you want to see more work. And definitely it'll be an inspiration for girls, young girl like Karen.
So she spoke about Upi. She's gone to a TED talk and she spoke about Upi. So she was telling me, ma'am, I manifested this somewhere at some
You
point.
tell us now.
She's
You
a fan,
end to end, we'll
Yeah.
just manifest.
1.5 year back, I was a TEDx speaker because of my short film and everything. And on that stage, I had taken Upendra sir's name, like
Okay.
proper name. And I sit there and I have been told that, Priyanka ma'am's narration is fixed. And I am like, oh my God. So it was, for me, to be honest, it was a full circle moment for me, even when Upendra sir
Yeah, he
to
came for the
press.
trailer launch. Yeah.
Yes. I think it was a complete. Actually, looking at him, I forgot everything what I had to tell, because it was definitely a big moment for me, because 1.5 year back I was on that stage where I just taken, as a fangirl, I had taken his name, and to actually seeing him in real life and for the film,
Yeah.
so it did mean a lot.
So
Yeah.
now what will you manifest for Upendra?
Upendra sir, I think I really want to work with him. So that's my manifestation that I put.
Definitely your dream will come true.
Thank you.
And knowing Upendra
Yeah.
sir, very encouraging.
Yeah, he is.
So all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharda. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you
you.